Blah, 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 blah. Okay. What's up, Lone Blade and Strawlux? It's been a hot minute since I actually started live streaming again. But, bruh, yo, that last video I posted, man, it's crazy. It is crazy how many people will hate on you just for wanting a balance of new releases for hardcore and simple fighting games. Dude, I swear to you, a lot of people that hated the video have really bad selective hearing problems, bro. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna read you one comment. I ain't gonna show it, but let me read you one. Let me read you some of these before I get started. Let me read you some of these right quick. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. There was a lot of people that agree with me, but let me read you some of the hate comments that I got. Blah 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 yada yada yada. That's not a hate comment. Not yet. A lot of these kind of agree with me with what I said. I'm trying to find one. Let me see. It's taking a minute. It was like a really good one. I just can't find it. Blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Let me read this. This is come from a comment that was on that last video. Right, so I'm quoting here, so this ain't actually me saying, this is a comment. So you can't find external validation for doing hard stuff and gatekeeping anymore. The solution is to stop seeking external motivation and just enjoy playing for your own daily improvement instead. Calling things easy is like easy and then leaving them without proving they are actually easy. It's like is a classic snake oil move. How many Street Fighter 6 or Grand Blue Rising tourneys have you won exactly? Show a few and I will consider your opinion when you call them easy. Like I said, there's a big ass difference between easy to win and easy to play. Like, I'm sorry, like I just don't get my rocks off playing easy fighters when it's just like simple buttons and shit like that, like simple combos. DNF Duel, I got bored of it like in a week. When literally like all I have to do is rob your ass, just to press A with Hitman back then in like Awakening, just to rob your ass. I don't get off on that. But here's what I said in response. I have 4 responses. I kind of broke it up into pieces, but it's all one big comment. Here's what I said in response. I'm speechless. And then the next comment. Okay. And I said, okay, so by that logic, how many tic-tac-toe tournaments do I have to win to prove that tic-tac-toe is easy? I also said again, I wanted a balance of new releases between hardcore and easy fighting games. Games that are from the ground up easy, I have no problem with at all. Which I didn't say I have a problem with easy fighting games in general. I'm just saying it was just an oversaturation in the market that are just easy fighting games. Like, there's no Street Fighter 4, there's no Guilty Gear Third Rev 2 like that. I just want balance. I just want a balance between for new releases that are hardcore and easy, simple games. That's all I wanted, and even that's too much to ask. And then here's my third comment. Plus, how can I enjoy it if it's boring for me? Already, I beat some pro players in ranked in Street Fighter 6 in the past. I beat Demon X and Nightmare Effects. I already beaten two pro players already in the past. Hell, I even have them recorded. I still have the rank set when I beat Nightmare Effects' Luke. He plays Luke longer than I did, and I still beat his ass in rank 2-0. Okay? Went up against Sonic Soul. And I lost twice to him, but it was hella close. I didn't have it recorded, unfortunately, but like, hey, it is what it is. Saying like, oh, it's like, I'm gonna say it like this. It's like everything's a skill issue until it hurts somebody's feelings to make it look like you're a bad guy, or until it hurts somebody's pockets. I promise you. Those are like the only two times where people will say like you're the villain and say like you're gatekeeping. But when it comes to other games like Virtual Fighter, where is this shit when they mention like, oh, just accept it for what it is? Oh, just play the game, learn the matchup, get good. Where is all these arguments when it comes to Virtual Fighter? Because you want to know why they don't come up? Because they have no respect for these other games. And I'm telling you, I am mad at myself for missing out on a lot of these other fighting games that I could have been playing instead of Street Fighter 5. I am mad at myself. And honestly, I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to this, but we shit on our own potential success. I notice that a lot in the FGC. What's up, Ultra? But I notice that a lot in the FGC. They sabotage their own success. Why? Because they shit on other games that isn't the big 3 or 4 or 5 games. That isn't KOF 15. KOF in general. That isn't KOF, Tekken, Street Fighter, and Guilty Gear. And people want to act like, oh, reason why Guilty Gear got so popular because they simplified the game. No, it did not. I'm telling you, the real reason, a lot of like Tekken, like the real reason, like a lot of games like Tekken Tag 2, KOF 13, and Guilty Gear Rev 2 or Sign, depending on the timeline. The reason why a lot of those games like crashed and burned was, well, some of it was on the online. I know that for a fact with KOF 13 because the online was terrible. But all of that aside, they released at the absolute worst times to be releasing. They were releasing, a lot of them were releasing at the popularity, at the pinnacle of Street Fighter 4 success. That's the problem. And the reason why they got so much more successful now, because they started releasing their games at Capcom's lowest points, was with Street Fighter 5. Don't believe me? Look at all the videos, like from 2020 to 2023, like mid 2023. Look at how all the videos going like, oh, KOF 15 may be the best game of all time. And like, oh, DNF Duel is going to change the FGC, or Project L is going to change the FGC and shit like that. You see a lot of the faking of the funk when they know really they trying to get away from Street Fighter 5 because they know it's trash. A lot of these people know it's trash, but they ain't going to say it because it's Street Fighter. And a lot of people have a hive mind when it comes to the top dogs of these fighting games. The community will not be built bigger based on just simplifying games and that's it, just going one extreme way and that's it. No, honesty, integrity, challenge, discipline. Oh, wait a minute, but all those things take self-reflection, which a lot of people are not willing to do. Anything that takes self-reflection or hard work, as long as it's anything but consuming, we can't do that. Not in today's FGC. It's pretty much nowadays just consume product, get excited for next product, and don't ask questions. Don't stand your ground. Just buckle under the pressure of everybody telling you it's a skill issue, just adapt, just accept it, etc. When you know for a fact they don't do it for these other games that are not mainstream. You know they don't do it. it is a very clear sign of selective outrage. I swear to God. Just don't say anything. And damn, I got 11 people in here already, man. That video was my most popular video. So hate or not, I'm grateful for it. Yo, got more people paying attention to my channel, so it's a plus for me. I don't give a fuck how many people dislike it. It reminds me of a scene from Trading Day when Denzel Washington said this: "Y'all can shoot me, but y'all can't kill me." Yeah, that's how it is. Unfortunately, yeah. But here's the thing, like, in people, there were some people saying like, "Oh, I'm just in my own head. Oh, I'm the only person that thinks like this." The only reason why they think I think like that, or like they see it from that perspective, is because a lot of people that feel the way I do get shut down. A lot of people get a lot of hate for it. I'm telling you, it's like you want to better your hood, but the hood is willing to kill you when you point out the problems what's in the hood. That's how the FGC is nowadays, man. That's how it is. And mind you, when I say like the FGC, I'm just talking about like in general. I'm not saying every single individual. Just in case I had to clarify even more, because I feel like I had to clarify every little thing that I say, instead of just people just asking for context instead of just assuming what I said. Oh, let me point out to another comment. Let me point out another comment from that video. Hold on. Damn, 12 people in here already, and I just started. Yeah, but here's the thing, Lamore. Here's the thing you're not getting. They might not let you. They might not. Okay, they might not dictate what you like or dislike, but they will dictate how these games direction goes in. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. It's like a defeatist. It's low key a defeatist mindset if you really think about it. Like, people don't have the balls to stand their ground anymore. That's why weirdos like this, not you, I'm just talking about the people, some of the people that came at me in the comments of that latest video, and why I got so many dislikes. It's about dead even. I have 100 and, well, counting, I have 159 likes and like 99 dislikes on that last video. But the reason why the FGC completely changed, it's not because of like, it's not because necessarily like the people changed, not so much. There's always going to be change. Like, even in the early 2000s, people changed, and then on so forth and so forth. Change is going to happen. I have no problem with change, but when it comes to change that ultimately comes to your detriment, that's when I have a problem, because it also affects people that stands their ground and stands hard in their beliefs. It's like you're shamed for being strong and having your feet planted to the ground and say, "No, I will not accept this." Yeah, the Twitter meta is too strong. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you like this. There's a big difference between giving power to the powerless and giving power to stupid ass people. There is a big difference. At least with you giving power to the powerless, they may have a chance of being corrupted, or they may have a chance to save themselves. When you give a power to the idiot, there's a 110% guarantee they're going to fuck it up. And look what's happening. And I can't wait till 10 years from now, when games even get dumber for the new Timmies. Let's say, like, for example, oh, it's too hard to press down and square, where like literally model controls are going to be the only way you're going to be able to play these games. They're acting as if the same thing that's happening to people like me won't happen to them. That's the funniest thing of all. And then once these games, I promise you, like, if something like this happens, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Like 10 or 20 years from now, like game fighting against literally is going to be reduced down to butt mashing. I'm going to laugh my ass off. And I'm going to go like, I told you so. But it's going to be all about the FGC expanding. It's going to have more fans and all this shit. Like, no. And mind you, with that bullshit already, when they say, "Oh, we need more support, more fans," no, you need more honesty. I mean, look at the Call of Duty community. I'm not going to front. That community is toxic. But at the very least, it's real. At the very least, it's real. I talk shit to the worst of the motherfuckers in the game. Back in those days, I talked to people that were... I had to talk shit against people that were racist. I had to talk shit against people that were like homophobic and all that shit. I talk my shit, when once you stand your ground, you honestly, sometimes you get respect from them very people that were acting bad towards you. And they'll say, oh, I'm sorry. And then we'll cut the shit, act like the shit never happened. It's called having balls, which a lot of people don't have nowadays. They don't have balls, they have phones. That's what they have. With their fat little fingers just making fucking tweets and shit. Acting like they have power when they know they don't. There is nothing worse than somebody getting a huge amount of power that never had it before in their lives and don't know how to handle it. That's the problem. But let me go back to another comment that from that video. And when I was talking about Tekken 8, when I was talking about Tekken 8, let me ask y'all this. Let me give y'all a bit of trivia. When I was talking about Tekken 8, the heat mechanic in the movement, those are the only two things I talked about. When did I talk about the meta of the game? When did I talk about meta? When? Somebody timestamp it for me and I will stand corrected. When did I talk about meta? Game that has a decade-long ceiling. But here's the thing, it doesn't require that, man. It doesn't require that. People can delegate their time to learn things. People can delegate their time to do things that they need to do. If that were the case, where people can't even be that much responsible for their own actions in their own time, they don't deserve anything in life. But let me get back to my point. Okay, never, Lone Blade, you said it. Okay, let me go to a comment. It was like one of the newest ones. And I'm going to read it. I ain't going to say no names. I'm not going to bring it up here. You can find it on your own if you want to. Okay. Maybe if this was scripted and edited, it'd be worth listening to in full. Sounds like someone is salty over accessibility features that they can't beat. At mid to high level, those features aren't a concern. If you're going to whine about special style and modern, but can't actually beat the people using those control, most overskilled players, then that's a you problem. The fact of the matter is that these accessibility features for beginners, and if you claim to be more skilled than them, you should be able to counter their limited moveset and strategies. Ideally, you can mash the same combos that any modern player can do. And using classic controls allows you to have your full array of moveset. Not only that, but Tekken 8 isn't even out yet, and you're already complaining about a meta game that hasn't even started to develop. Be serious. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just because I criticize a few things about modern, the reason why I don't respect modern, because it gives you the middle finger to how fighting games should be learned in the first place. It is like doing the classic controls, like, and shit like that. It was magic for me. Like, oh shit, like, how did I do that? When I was first learning Street Fighter 4 in 2013, mind you, when I was on Xbox 360 days, long before I created this channel, that was the first fighting game. That was the first fighting game I ever took seriously. I never played fighting games seriously before then. Like, never played them before seriously, ever. Like, never, ever played it seriously. Guess how far I got in the rank with Ken? B+. B+. And guess how many one frame link combos I knew? None. Not one combo. I did not know one frame link combo. I didn't even know they existed until like 2 years later. 2 or 3 years later. And plus, like, the only reason why people want these fighting games to be dumbed down because they are desperate for validation. They desperate for belonging and having an identity. When did this shit ever matter 15, 10, 20 years ago? When did this shit ever matter? If it was really that big of a pain in the ass for most of these people that complaining about like, oh, the games were too hard and shit like that, they would have never gotten off the ground in the first place. Hell, that's how Guilty Gear got its identity in the first place. Because it was wacky, it was insane, it was batshit and crazy, and it was technical. That's how it got its identity in the first place. Literally every other game that was like Guilty Gear was called a Guilty Gear game. That's how inspirational that game was. And you're going to sit here and tell me to my face, all of a sudden, it's all about like, oh, we need to make a game more simple and shit because people don't have time to learn. When did that ever matter? And plus, like, in saying that I'm gatekeeping because I just want a few fighting games that came from the ground up that were technical to stay technical. Mind you, I have no problem with Grand Blue versus Rising existing in of itself. I have no problem with that. I want simple games to exist, but when it becomes a problem when it completely runs over and then spills into technical fighting games. I want simple fighting games to exist. I want some junk food every now and again. But when that's the only option you have, and just say like, oh, everything's just more offensive now, when you know that's just a blatant excuse, that's when I get pissed, because you're actually trying to insult my intelligence when you know what the real reason is. That's the problem. But never have I ever mentioned about complain about the meta of the game. And what was that dude talking about? Saying like, oh, the game hasn't even been developed yet. Nigga, the game was about to release next month and we got a demo. If you're talking about like, oh, we haven't seen the meta of like the tier list, like that matters. All I said was just that I think having perfect electrics and heat system was stupid. That's all I said. And then another comment said and just misconstrued what I said, going like, oh, then you must think Kazuya is an easy character. When the hell did I say Kazuya was an easy character? When did I say that? I swear it's like they hear one thing and then automatically assume another thing from based on what I said. Like, I never even said that shit. I never said Kazuya was an easy character ever. I never once said that. All I said was just having perfect electrics and heat, regardless of your timing, doing it in electric or wing God fist, just coming out automatically, just no problem. I think that's stupid. I just think it's dumb. It doesn't matter if I can just duck it and then like just punish you. It doesn't matter. I just think it's dumb because it just ruins the whole point of the move being special, in my opinion. But man, it's just a selective hearing problem. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another comment that I want to read. And then I'll read y'all comments. I promise you, I'll read them in a second. Okay, and this is coming from another person. It says like, one, when someone famous says something, it has more weight. It's dumb. And it's dumb. It exists in every field. When did I not say that? When did I say it doesn't exist in every other field besides the FGC? When did I say that? No shit. I shouldn't have to explain something that's obvious. Two, you don't like the new games? Play the old ones. There are still people on Street Fighter 4 or on older titles like Fightcade. Sounds like a lot of gatekeeping, doesn't it? Oh damn, you just want 2 out of 10 games that come out to be technical and honest to God. It's like a cognitive dissonance problem, man. They don't see what they're saying. They do not see what they're saying. Literally gatekeeping. Yeah, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work more. It's not going to work in the long run. The reason why it's not going to work because it's going to be too much of the same thing, rather than just one thing being good. That's why Smash pretty much for the most part kept its fan base, because they knew their fan base, they respected their fan base, and they grew and evolved their gameplay and like what characters they bring in too. They know how to keep the hype and they know how to keep their players. This shit is just me. This shit is just mere virtue signaling. That's all it is. That's the difference. Oh, let me read you the last part of the comment. It says like, okay, you hate the community, but why should that dictate your will to play? Sounds like you're just whining, to be honest. Play or don't play, nobody gives a fuck, and you don't. And if you don't, well, have a good life. Yeah, see how narcissistic this shit sounds? See how narcissistic that shit sounds? Oh, just play the old shit. Okay, the old shit's good, but I also want to play some new shit that's technical. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with having just a few games that are just technical? What is wrong with that? Somebody please tell me. One technical or two technical games out of 20 or 10 to 20 games that are already simple and easy to get into. What is wrong with that? Somebody please explain that to me. That's frying my brain. And plus, everybody knows on Street Fighter 4, on PC especially, the netcode sucks. If the netcode was good, if it got rolled back, I wouldn't probably even made that video in the first place. Because Street Fighter 4, mind you, if you know my history on YouTube, Street Fighter 4 was also one of the games that even brought my channel to life in the first place. Which is why it's so frustrating when I can't play one of my favorite games of all time because of how shit the netcode is. I usually get matches that just lag the hell up every time. And plus people saying like, oh, like I'm arrogant and shit like that. Yeah, no, I'm just being honest. I'm not arrogant, I'm honest. If you view it as arrogant, then, I don't know, shove it up your ass, I guess. I'm gonna still do me, regardless. But it leaves you speechless sometimes, man. It just leaves you speechless. Yes, it did. Oh, here's another comment. This is one of my personal favorite ones. Personally stupid. So what is your problem even? The only thing getting easier with fighting games is the entry level. At high level, these easier entry levels don't matter. Why would it matter to you? There are only positives about lowering the entry level, while their ceiling level's probably never been high. Yeah, because the options are more limited than ever before. That's the reason why they're getting higher. The lower it gets, the higher it gets. And it's all for the wrong reasons. Your options, your defensive options are becoming more and more limited with every new game that's coming out. And like, ironically, there was like just 5 or 6 days ago, Chris G uploaded a video talking about like the depth of strategy, defensive options, etc. in footsies. Literally the same exact thing I've been saying for months. Literally. It's just crazy how people can just like, oh, and I'm not shitting on Chris G on anything when it comes to this. I'm not shitting on him as a player or as a person. It's just amazing how much people are willing to dick ride one dude and then hate on me for literally saying the same damn thing. And before you say, oh, but he's a famous like pro player, you know what doesn't care about popularity or notoriety? Evidence, logic, and reasonable conclusions. If that were the case, if that were truly the case, the people would still believe all around the world that the world is still flat. It only took one person to prove that the world was round. If we went by that logic just because of numbers or notoriety or how many people like them, we would still believe that the earth was flat and nothing would get accomplished. Bullshit. But let me continue. So why would it matter? Blah, 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 blah. I already read that part. So you hate new players that can actually play the game with just a tutorial, while a decade ago you had to suck for weeks but can never play the game. See, there we go with the gatekeeping again. And mind you, it didn't take forever. And plus, when people say that shit, I know you're being dishonest. That's like when a fat nigga comes up to me, says like, oh, I've been working out at the gym for 5 hours a day. 7 days a week, I just been eating nothing but water without any ice. I just been eating that shit. Nom 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 nom. When you still fat and out of shape, you are full of shit. No, you don't. You do not practice all day. You are just lying to my face because you know it doesn't take that long. You're just not practicing the correct shit. People, when they think of practice, they usually think of, oh, I'm going to do this long combo. They want to be combo fiends, but they don't know how to do spacing. They don't know how to do footsies. Ironically, when they use that as an actual defense, saying like, oh, well, it's not about like the execution or anything. It's all about the footsies and the mind stacking and all that bullshit. Ironically, they'll use that same argument, but don't know how to use it when it comes to just actually playing these honest to God fighting games. They just think all the thing that matters is the combos. I'm real. And on top of that, it doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. 6 weeks before the game. On top of that, it doesn't matter because if you're decent at the game, you will destroy a new player every time. So what's the point even? And I just said this because I just got tired at that point. I responded with, even if I told you it would go right over your head, it would just go right over your head anyway. What's the point of wasting breath? I already read that comment. Blah blah blah. There were some people that actually felt genuinely bad for me for like leaving fighting games, but there's just a certain point, man, when you just get tired of this shit. You just get tired of it. Like, you can tell, like, I actually genuinely care about fighting games. I do. Oh, I just hate seeing art die and become a product. People don't want to learn how to create art. They just want coloring books. I promise you. Just to keep it a stack. In the Western world, people don't want to learn how to paint with a brush and paint. Man, I'm not accepting that shit. It's just so tiring, man. It's like, people are being positive. It's just a fake positivity that what kills me. Like, the FGC was always toxic, but back in the day, like back in like the Street Fighter 4 days, at least when the people were toxic, it was honest toxicity. I'd rather deal with an honest villain any time of the week than a dishonest hero. Because you're lying to my face and acting like you're the good guy. That's what pisses me off more than anything, and I will stand by that to my grave. And plus, this isn't anger, this is passion. Like, I love art, man. I love seeing art being created. Street Fighter 4 for me was art. There were so many ways you can play. There were just so many ways to have an identity, it was crazy. There were people that were beating my ass with just neutral buttons. I remember getting players that just beat me with just neutral. Not one single special was thrown. Not one single ultra was thrown. Just beat me like as if they were playing with one hand. No, I mean, yeah, COD is just completely consumed by consumerism. Ironically, that's the reason why COD for me is dead. And plus, I think a lot of people are going to overhype the shit out of Grand Theft Auto 6. It's going to be, I think the microtransactions are going to be more egregious than ever before, because they're already thinking about like charging people hourly for how long they play. And that's what I've been hearing. But you know what? It's on them. Just consume product, get excited for the next product, and don't ask questions. I think that's dumb. And now it's just a lot of weirdos with power. Now it got completely taken over this shit. And plus, there's just people that, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, that reminds me of another comment. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. Blah 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 blah. I'm just scrolling. I mean, yeah, I'm thankful for it too. Like I'm not denying it. I'm thankful for Fightcade, but man, just 2 or 3 fighting games out of the 10 or 20 that are coming out, just to stay technical, or just technical from the ground up. Is it really that much to ask? Is it really that much to ask? It's like, good Lord, man. It's like you can't have anything anymore. You can consume as much as you want, but when you actually want something that actually wants to challenge you, oh, that's too much to ask. That's too much to ask. Just wow. What do you mean build my own fighter? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. If you, I promise you, if you just trying to learn, dude, bro, I'm not going to take the time to do that. Why can't we just have what we ask? That's just still defeat his mindset in a way, if you really think about it. I can probably learn it, but how many years is that going to take me to learn that? When fighting games are already going to be dead in the ground. That makes no sense to me. Why would I do that when I know there was like thousands of other, where there was like literally tens of places that were already had what I asked? That's just ridiculous. I think that's just stupid, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you're trying to come from a good place, but that's just stupid. Just 1 or 2 games out of the 10s, out of the 20 that are already simple. Just 2. And that's too much to ask? Does one have to become a chef to criticize a soup or his restaurant? No. You can tell. You can just tell. Oh man, yes. I'm not getting mad at your comment. I'm just like, it's just you just hit the nail on the head. Yes, Silzors. Yes, you don't have to be a chef to know that a soup sucks, and you don't have to be a a health inspector to know that there's shit on your bed. Yeah, and you know what else? You know what other companies that did the exact same thing that you said shit that you said sin? You know the exact same two companies. Well, three big companies that are bigger than the FGC will be. You know, it was George Lucas Films, Marvel, and DC. And look what's happening to it. They are in shambles right now. They are in absolute shambles, especially when it comes to comics. Dude, Demon Slayer alone basically outsold the entire comic book industry by itself. That is crazy. When literally one manga defeats the entire West in sales, you know it sucks. And let me ask you something. Let me ask you guys, like, in general, how many of y'all go on YouTube where you're scrolling through comments, like through videos randomly and shit like that? How many do y'all really see of like Marvel and DC characters versus like anime characters and shit like that? How many do y'all see like in comparison? It's becoming more and more rare when I see like Spider-Man profiles or what they were like just on YouTube profile pictures, like in general. It's usually just anime shit. Usually just anime weeb shit. Like all the time. I hardly ever see it. It's becoming more and more like a rarity. I don't see no Superman profile pictures. I don't see no Batman. I don't see no Green Arrow. I don't see no Harley Quinns. I don't see none of that shit. All I see is just weeb shit and that's it. Oh, Tasa Spam, what's up, man? How you been doing? Bro, I was trying to give you some praise from that music that I put into like my last video. Yeah, I mean that's good for you more, but like, nah, I'm just too tired of these fighters, bro. But I will say this, I will try Under Night in Birth 2 when that game comes out. I will try that because I already pre-ordered it, so I guess why not? But oh, let me tell you the real reason why the smaller fighting games like Under Night in Birth don't grow. They try to compete by releasing their games too freaking close to big titles like Tekken. Like when is Under Night in Birth comes out, like the 24th or something, like 24th, like 2 days or 2 days before, 2 days after Tekken 8. They need to stop doing that shit. And also Evo, I might catch some shit for this, but it will actually work in the long run, trust me. Honestly, the big 3 or 4 games, like the big three, like Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, and Tekken. I'm sorry, but we need rotations. We need rotations at Evo, bro. So that way the smaller games can get more like love and appreciation, because I think Under Night in Birth is massively underrated. The only thing that's holding that game back right now, I mean, I know they're gonna come out with 2 with like rollback netcode. I know that. But the reason why games like that get so much scrutiny is because they're not viewed that much. And you know how many, and I hate to admit this, but I'm a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to this. And I stopped doing it. When games like they try to revive and like try to get back together, like I hated DNF Duel. But I have to admit, like, the fandom is pretty strong when they stay with that game. I have to admit it. But the things I see when it comes to like DNF Duel, like Evo videos and shit like that, you know which ones I'm talking about, right? And how people love like the crap on that game, going like, oh, I still can't believe the 8 people that play this game are still participating in tournaments, while the top 8 is only 8 people. Haha. And y'all niggas, you wonder why people don't say their minds like they say in mine right now. People wondering why that is. Well, there you go. You're basically sabotaging your own potential success. It's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's ludicrous. There you go. You're just literally bullying the very people that love the game that you thought was going to change the FGC and shit like that, going like, oh my God, the FGC will never be the same, all that. You know you're a hypocrite. And I hate to say it, but even I was like kind of like low key crapping on the game. But I was still playing Street Fighter 5. I was still playing it. You know, I know that game is trash. But I can't. But I know this is completely unrelated. But I can't wait for Jet Set Radio. I can't wait for that game, man. I waited over 20 years, over 20 years for a sequel. I'm like a big Jet Set Radio fan, bro. But even like Cyberpunk, man, this game is good. But even got my dude Too Mellow in this game, man. Tasha Smith, I wish you had your music in this game. Honestly, you're underrated as shit. You're criminally underrated. You deserve way more subs than I do. I mean, you put in work, bro. Honestly, I want to plan to make a video soon about like who's my favorite like YouTube music music artists are. Man, I'm put you in it. You're gonna be up there. I think artists deserve way more respect and like just in general, because like that music, like that just don't come in a person's ass. That comes from the heart. Now that's passion. Especially that French stage theme that you made for like Street Fighter 6, bro. That shit was popping. Been addicted to that shit ever since. But no, I'm just glad I don't have that like consumer only mindset anymore. I'm glad I don't, because it was starting to infest me. Bro, like I was like at a point, I know a lot of people don't know this. I know I'm gonna go in some personal shit, but I'm gonna say it like it is. Bro, I used to weigh 400 pounds, man. I just gave up on myself, like, oh, I'm not gonna get anywhere with this, so I might as well just consume things, might as well just eat, eat but not enjoy the taste, might as well just lay around but not relax. Might as well just put a smile on my face knowing that I'm not happy. Might as well just accept it, right? Because yeah, that's what everybody's doing, just accepting shit. But then something just snapped. And now I'm like damn near like 268. It's like something just snapped. I just got fed up. And that's a lot of the things that our Western country is missing. Getting mad and just overall just having shame. Shame at times, it can be a good thing. Because it keeps you from being a degenerate. And plus, like, I just kept and the reason why I can speak like so well, like I know I stutter sometimes, but like what the reason why I can articulate what I'm saying so well, and like I can get people to hear what I'm saying and actually just let my thoughts flow so freely, because I'm not afraid to speak my mind anymore. And a lot of people could be like me or be better than me. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that. Trying to be arrogant. But the reason why I can just say something and have some gravity to where people want to pay attention, want to come to my stream and hear what I want to say, is because I'm willing to put my balls on the table, pretty much. And a lot of people don't have the nerve to do that. And I think that's how the country's. I think that's just how communities are just going to ultimately die out, because they're so afraid to communicate how they actually feel and say what needs to be said. I mean, some people can call me toxic, some people can call me barbaric. What I say, so they can call me gatekeeper, whatever the hell they want to call me. I mean, like I said before, y'all can shoot me, but you can't kill me. I ain't gonna stop saying what I need to say, even if I'm wrong. I'm still gonna stand my ground. Nobody, Some people may hate him. No, actually, scratch that. No matter what I do, there's always going to be that one person that's going to look at me as a villain. And I can't change their minds. And that's fine. And I wish a lot more people had that mindset. I'm not going to try to talk shit when I say this, but I'm just going to be 1,000% honest. I wish, and for people that more than likely know this, like since I'm talking about this topic anyway, but I wish Sonic Soul had that mindset as well, where he just doesn't give a damn. He's just going to say what he has to say. And I think God, like, I got that mentality, like, oh, fighting games is like the only thing I have that gives me purpose or identity. I'm glad I stopped thinking like that. Because, like, man, that shit gets depressing. I don't care how good I am at these games or not. Nobody cares if you're a pro, if you're miserable as fuck. Nobody cares. If you are miserable, nobody cares. Nobody likes a dude that's just talk shit and wins all the time. Nobody likes it. I mean, I wouldn't have like 19 people. That never happened before when I live stream. I have 19 people viewing my content, viewing what I have to say, viewing what I have to like put on the table. Dude, a lot of this is by luck and circumstances. A lot of people don't even have the opportunity that I do. And you think I'm going to mess that up by just bending the knee to like people that literally don't care whether I'm 6 feet under or not? No. It's not the games that he hates. It's not that. It's not that, Horace. It's not that. It's not the I don't think he hates Street Fighter 6 as much as he does. I just think he hates the circumstances that he's in. I don't think that's the case, because I actually personally talked to the dude. Like, I think he's chill, like, but he's in the position that I was in. And plus, when it comes like these streamers and shit like that, a lot of people dehumanize streamers and like content creators, because that's really all they see them as, just as content, because people are so used to consuming that they don't care about what they consume as long as they get in their system and gives them that little bit of dopamine. I don't think it's just that. Like, when I actually started seeing him as a person, like, yeah, I get it. I get where he's coming from. Because I was stuck in that same mentality, like just being by myself, like having like nothing else to look forward to besides just fighting games. That's it. Like, no. I mean, honestly, there are more people that are more successful playing fighting games just for the shits and giggles rather than actually playing it seriously and going pro. They came out with a new CC fighting collection. They put one button special. CC. Wow, for real. Then what's the point of the collection then if they just gonna mess it up anyway? That's stupid. I'm sorry, I find that shit dumb. But just took one massive. Okay. Okay. But yeah, okay, let me read some of y'all comics. The only good comic was Wolverine vs. Predator. Yeah, that's true. But he hates Grand Blue deep down inside. Chat do be treating him like that though. Yeah, I mean, and here's the one thing, and I have to appreciate Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, but he said this so perfectly and it clicked. And I'm gonna quote this: "We attract what we are." I mean, Sonic, so everybody knows him for like his like degenerate shit. It's no secret, but once you become a degenerate, you're gonna attract more degenerates. You attract what you are. You are what you eat, which is why I can attract all kinds of people. There's people that they hate me. There's gonna be people that agree with me. There's gonna be people that's in the middle, because I'm not gonna bow down to I'm not gonna bow down to anybody. I'm gonna stick by my guns. And people, they may not all like me, but they will respect what I am. That's all it is. And mind you, I'm only 27, and there's people that are smarter than me that sees the world with a more, with a greater, with like a better lens than I do, which is crazy. But that's besides the point, man. It I just find it amazing, like how like the FGC is just one of the most dehumanizing communities ever, man. They it's like anything that you disagree with them on, they see you as a threat, not as a person with a different opinion. It's like everything's a skill issue until it hurts somebody's feelings or until it hurts somebody's pockets. That's all it is. I feel if you're a company that's going to dumb down your game, make it 4 players with next gen, and they can make it happen, I guess. But man, the only reason why a lot of fighting games are getting dumbed down is not because they're too hard. It's because people want validation quick. They want dopamine quick. And look what's happening. Look what's happening in the Western media as well. Just in general. There's like these AI girlfriends, like these like there's just so much like, like spicy stuff. I'm not gonna say, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's just so easily accessible, like it means nothing. It's like eating air at this point. Look at the dating scene, for example, right? Look how stagnant that shit got. There's like hardly no dudes approaching women, especially in the workplace, because they're afraid of getting canceled. They're afraid of being like on Twitter or some shit, go like, ew, this weird guy approached me. And plus, and a lot of women, like when they say like, oh, it's okay to approach us, but it's all based on feelings, not on factual evidence. It's all based on feelings. And I'm not saying that to be sexist, but I'm just saying that because it's true. Look how many women that be like on like TikTok or whatever say like, oh, approach us if I give you the sign. Read my body language, read my mind. There's no productive results. It's all gonna be different based on how the person looks. And I'm not saying like looks is 100% everything, but it means a lot in today's world, where literally you have to be Superman. You have to be beyond Superman. You have to be like cosmic armor Superman, pretty much. You have to be a god, and even then, that couldn't be enough for some women. But I just think the world is getting too wrapped up in titles rather than just being concerned about just being who they are and being comfortable with themselves. I treat fighting games like the gym, pretty much. It's like anybody can go to the gym and get in shape. Anybody can go to the gym and exercise. But some people are just going to have to accept the fact that a lot of people are not going to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're not going to be that. And you know what? It's completely fine that you're not an Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, people just look at the top shiniest thing and act like, oh, it's so easy. They just want to make it so easy to attain that it means nothing. It means nothing. And I find that, and I just find it absurd, man. Like how people that never put in work in the first place wants to dumb down things that they know they never tried really hard in. That they know that they didn't try in. Oh, by the way, since I got 19 people in here, I don't know how many of y'all are sub, but like if y'all want to, go ahead and sub. I never ever had these many viewers before, ever. I'm still glad I made that video, regardless of how much hate I got or not. I'm glad I made that video. Because I think that opened up a can of worms, at least. But, shit, let me keep playing. Bro, do you know how rare, bro? Bro, I still can't even get over the fact that I got 19 viewers right now. That's crazy. I still can't even believe, bro. The last time I streamed, before I even made that video, I used to have like 4, 5, 8 people at the most, probably like 10 on a good day. I never had like at most like 25 people watching my shit. That's a privilege. That's a privilege, not a right. But thank y'all for like visiting my stream too. That I mean, that's crazy. I can't even get over that. Like 20 people right now. But man, and then I also had to come clean with this shit too. I gotta apologize for like I hardly ever apologize, but I gotta apologize for even my toxicity sometimes. Like I rage quitting like and shit like that. Like, but it's not the player most of the time, man. It's just man, the game is so frustrating because it's so limited on what you can do, especially in Street Fighter 6 when my inputs drop, my brain just technically just clocks out. Like man, I was not always like that salty of a person, man. Like I despite all my losses in like in Street Fighter 4 when I started, I never rage quit. Besides like a Blanca trying to time scam me like with one round under 30 seconds. That's different. That doesn't even count. Trying to time scam for easy points. That was bullshit. And plus, you know what's crazy about like today's FGC? Here's another thing. I didn't even think about this until it hit me. But a lot of these people love to show they dick, but they ain't got no balls. When it comes to like talking shit all the time, going like, even when you're just criticizing, dude, there was like one person I just had to block, going like talking shit, going like, see, and this is the reason you and I said like, oh, you're the prime sample of what I'm talking about. And this dude says like, oh, we'll beat me to a first to 10, and then we'll really see who's the scrub. I just blocked the nigga, bro. You still in elementary school with that shit. Beat me in a first to 10, scrub. Beat me in a first to 10. Gold player. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, let me waste my time doing a first to 10 to some random nobody. Yup. Who was my main in Street Fighter 6? It was Luke. I mean, Luke was my main, to be honest with you. Reason why I picked Luke because I honestly like the voice actor for him. Like damn, I forgot his name, but yeah, I like the voice actor. That's part of the reason why I picked him up. Then he was like the most familiar when it comes like come from like Street Fighter 6, come from like Street Fighter 5. And honestly, I really would not mind a nerf for like Luke. The disjointed like medium punch, like yeah, I would not mind that shit going. I wouldn't mind it. I just want more Luke combos, man. I just want more routes with like Flash Knuckle. That's all I want. Similar like to what he had like in Street Fighter 5. Just take away his disjointed. What the okay? Um, just take away his like disjointed crouching medium punch and just give him back his back medium punch from like Street Fighter 5. That button was way better, in my opinion. Like take some of his take away some of his damage, just give him more combos. Or better yet, just give him back his his fee skill. Like his fee skill one back. And let me cancel out. Something like to like and make his like overhead slower. Like that's all I really want. I just want more Luke combos. I don't care how else he gets nerfed. Hmm. Oh, the costumes? You mean you want to know how many? You want to know how? Hold on. Let me give y'all a little guessing game here. I want y'all to guess how many costumes got me with how many costumes I got with $24. I want you to guess how many costumes I got. I want y'all to guess. I want y'all to guess how many costumes I got with Street Fighter 6 with $24. Just guess. Anywhere from 1 to 10, guess. Motherfucker. Here we go. barely 3. If I didn't have a little bit extra, it would have been 2 costumes. $24 for basically 2 costumes. When I can go to Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and get a whole pack for literally less than that or the same price. That is crazy. There is literally no excuse for that kind of greed. And you know, there's people defending that crap, man. But the costumes are optional. You don't have to buy them. Yeah, they also don't have to be that high. But look where we are. No, like barely 2 or 3. If I didn't have a little bit of extra change, like in fight coins, it would have been 2 costumes. If I had 0 from scratch, it would have been 2. That's ridiculous, ain't it? That's just nuts. And people honestly expected me to do that. That's like, it's over $100 for all the costumes together. I think it's like $108 altogether for all those costumes. Yeah, at least you can do that for free. And again, like the Tekken 8 customizations is still a little bit limited, but I'll take that any day of the week in comparison to like the literal scam of like a Street Fighter 6's costumes. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, I just it's just too much gimmicks. There's no strategy. And plus, like, you don't believe me, like, let's just look at Chris G's like a video talking about like there's like no strategy in the newer fighters. It's just mindless offensiveness, mindless offense. That's really all it is. Like the reason why I don't like simpler fighting games now is because you have to respect the other person's shit, even though they don't know what they're doing. You have to respect it. You have to block, which what Sanford Kelly said way back when he was talking about like Street Fighter 5, like talking about like how Capcom is going to make their games now. I mean, there's still like ways to innovate. You can still find somewhat technical shit, true, but you have to block and you have to guess. Not because the person is putting you in an authentic 50-50 situation. It's because they're literally next to you and you have to guess. You don't have a choice. That's really, really dumb. That's why I hated Street Fighter 5 so much. Like, I know these dudes would not be able to compete with me like in Street Fighter 4 or 3. And mind you, I'm not that good in 3. I'm not like some legendary player. I'm not no RX. And for people that don't know who RX was, man, he was a legendary Urian. Still is. Ruthless. But I'm just telling you, a lot of these dudes would not be able to hang. There's no way. Like, even with like Guilty Gear Strive, for example, like, I know they would get absolutely cooked in Zerd. There is no way. Even against like average players. Like, I tried it like a while back, like learning Kim or whatever her name is, like the Kung Fu girl, or that like does like the cooking and shit with her restaurant. When I went in there like doing the player lounges, bro, I didn't stand a chance. I mean, I probably got like a lick in, got like a round in, but bro, I was still getting my ass kicked mercilessly. Deservingly so, because I didn't practice the game that much. I didn't really practice the mechanics. I was just like trying to learn some combos, like learn some spacing and shit like that. But still, like, just because I played it for like a couple of weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks maybe, that doesn't mean I'm gonna body a dude that's been playing the game for like half a year or a year or so, or years, however you want to put it. There's no way. Yeah, hold on a second. I could have sworn they said that modern controller players would be taking as much damage as some normal control. Yeah, the thing is, like, it has a 20% damage reduction, but at the same time, you get an 80% damage. You get 80% damage because all you have to do is just literally just press like 2 or 3 buttons. Super is literally one button. You get to instant react to it. That's stupid as hell, man. When you try Drive Impact, all they had to do is just press one super button. And guess what? They countered that shit completely. It's not real reactions. Because some of these same dudes that play on modern, when they play on classic, they suck. And I can just tell when they play modern and shit, just the way they play neutral, they really can't play without it. They really can't play without it. Just watch how bad they play neutral. Like, I promise you, they would not be able to play it. But now, those are the same dudes that are going to say, like, oh, you're gatekeeping. Now they finally feel like they're getting validated. Which is crazy. The irony. I played 2 recently with friends offline and had a blast. I'm going to be real with you. I'm probably going to get some shit for this. Like, Street Fighter 2 was not my cup of tea, but I always admired it from afar. Like, I mean, I like the game, but like for me, like Third Strike, that shit was just where it's at. Like, even like playing Street Fighter 2. I mean, not Street Fighter 2. I mean Street Fighter 3, new generation. Everybody knows that game's busted. Everybody knows it, but that game is fun though. I mean, honestly, Street Fighter 3 new generation for me had like the best soundtrack. Like, we're comparing like all 3 Street Fighters together, all 3 Street Fighters together, Street Fighter 3s together, like with Alpha 2 and then Third Strike. I think new generation had the best music in my opinion. I'm sorry, that Dudley stage in that Ibuki theme, Ibuki and Elena theme, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Nothing's gonna top that in my opinion. When it comes to like the other, like Street Fighter 3 games, even with Third Strike. What's your flavor? KOF, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat. Honestly, Mortal Kombat, my favorite Mortal Kombat for me. Well, it's technically a tie between Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat 10, but if I had to choose between the two, I would say Mortal Kombat 10, like for Mortal Kombat X. But in terms of like actual like single player campaign, I would say Mortal Kombat 9. But when it comes to sheer gameplay, etc. Like Mortal Kombat 10 easily. That game had insane shit, bro. Like all I did was just play Jason Voorhees, and I still do like some badass combos. Like, I was still doing like crazy combos and shit like that. But what about Second Impact? Sean was top tier. Yeah, he was top tier in that version too. He was ridiculous. I'm not even gonna try to deny that. As cool as that character was, like man, he was broken, bro. He had the slam dunk DP, like, bro. Like he was nutty. Shit, I might play some New Generation like on the 30th anniversary just for shits and giggles. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just for pastime. Hold on. Yeah, Sean, bro, let me ask y'all something. Let me ask y'all a real question. Why wasn't Sean the main character instead of Luke in Street Fighter 6? Honestly, he should have been the main character. It would have made too much sense. I mean, Luke. Wait, once I say this, y'all never gonna unthink this. I mean, Luke, in a way, he's kind of like the whitewashed version of Sean. To be honest with you, he's basically Sean but whitewashed. That should have been Sean's spot. Honestly, Luke should have been like more like a freelancer or something. To be honest with you, Luke should have been like a side character, like just period, or like just been like a, or just been like a co-owner of the gym that he owns, like with Sean. Pretty much, it would have made so much more sense. Yeah, yeah, like bro, I would have been excited for that. Like they, like honestly, if they made Alex the main character in like the Third Strike series, and they just stuck to their guns and just said no, we're not bringing Ken and Ryu back, I think that would have really changed how these games would have been perceived. Honestly, like like in the short run, people would have hated it, but like in the long run, like damn, oh my god, I can't believe Capcom had the balls to do that. That's crazy. Like I can respect it. I honestly, I think I would have liked the idea because they're already thinking about doing that anyway with like Luke and what's his name, Jamie. Oh no, I got like a new comment from that video. Hold on, let me read it. It's saying like, I feel you, bro. As a 42-year-old gamer, I grew up playing and loving fighting games, but let me tell you that sadly most of the FGC guys out there are attention seekers. Don't take them too seriously. Say what you want, F everybody else. The main issue is the games, and yes, I agree with you, closing the gap between casual and dedicators. It's not what fighting games is about. Losing in a simple 50-50 situation is more frustrating to me than getting my ass genuinely kicked by someone who eats opponents alive. Sadly, we will only need to stand aside and wait for the game that we were looking for. Can't wait. Can't say that I'm done with fighting games. That's all, bro. Yeah, like, bro. But here's the thing, like, we are so small. Like now, it's like, oh my god, this reminds me of an MF Doom quote. This reminds me of an MF Doom quote. Let me get my thoughts together when I say this. Today's FGC is like making a soldier drop his weapon, shooting him, and then tell him to get to stepping. I will say that again because I kind of muddled that. It's like, it reminds me of an MF Doom quote. It's like making a soldier drop his weapon, shooting him, and then tell him to get to stepping. That's how today's FGC feels when it comes like to players that feel the same way that I do now. That's just how it feels, man. it feels like a knife in the back and a punch in the gut at the same time. It's just like, I think it's just going to implode on itself, man. And it's like, it reminds me of another like quote, and this is like from Syndrome from Incredibles of all people. Once everybody's super, nobody else will be. And I think that's when that's gonna be the exact point when the HEC dies. I'm just being realistic. Oh, but I don't think y'all can see anything. Shit. Yeah, I know that. I already aware of that. And honestly, I don't really blame it. Wait a minute, a 9-year-old really won a Street Fighter 6 tournament? Were they using model controls or classic? There's no way. No way. No way, bro. No way. I forgot I ain't got nothing on. Hold on. Was it using classic controls or like modern? Because if they were using modern, that explains everything. There's no way they was using classic. No way. No way. No way. No way in hell. I have to see it to believe it. There you go. All right, there we go. I had to see that to believe it. No way. Please tell me they were using modern. There's no way they were using classic. No 9-year-old is going to be winning some tournament. No way. Yup. That explains everything then. That explains everything. Then I'm not impressed. Then I am not impressed. I wouldn't be surprised 5 years from now, dogs going to be winning tournaments. They already doing Hadokens. There's dogs. There's literally a dog that can throw a Hadoken perfectly. Throw an EX Hadoken. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That just says so much without saying and saying so little at the same time. That's just nuts. Godly, man. God. Hmm. Good Lord Christ. Bitch. My God. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's no grab button. Yeah, you gotta press. You gotta press forward, and like medium kick to grab him. It's like Guilty Gear Surge. Yeah, bro, like let that happen and let that happen in the Street Fighter 4 tournament and see what happens. I want to see that 9-year old. I want to see that 9-year old play in this Street Fighter 4 tournament. I want to see that happen. Oh my god, really? Got your ass. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing don't have no overhead either. No universal overhead. Well, it's still not showing it. What the shit? Oh wait, no, it's showing stuff. Never mind. Damn it. Oh man, I almost had it. I thought it was corkscrew cross. I thought it was corkscrew. All right, man. I'll see you. Thanks for stopping by. Our name was like Cup. Oh no, bro. That our name was Cupcake. Oh no, no. Wow. I can't believe that actually happened, bro. I always have a tough time with oral, man. Damn it. Just jumping everywhere, bitch. Damn it. Oh, fuck it. Let's pick Sean. Why not? He used to fight for publicity. He used to fight for publicity. Black me. Girl was used. Wait a minute. What y'all mean? Useful for publicity. So was she like used as like a marketing tactic or some shit? Wow, I just reacted perfectly to that. Damn. Damn. No, let's play some. Let's play some Third Strike. Why not? It's got more comfortable. I just got more comfortable characters. Lupe Fiasco ain't beat no Daigo. Yeah, that's probably never gonna happen. Yeah, I'm thinking of fucking Street Fighter Six. Yeah. I just found it too. I forgot that's how it is in like a new generation. That's why I kept like grabbing like I normally would, like in Third Strike. Dude, I love the Third Strike parry system. Yeah, what's up? Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm playing Third Strike casually offline. I can play. I can do that. Doesn't mean I'm playing games online. I mean, I love how you think you trying to pretend like you know what you're talking about, but then completely make a fool out of yourself. Because I did say them, I'll play them sparingly now and again. But I never said it'll be like a main. But I did say they won't be a mainstay on my channel. I mean, you would have actually known it if you actually watched the video through and through. But yeah. So Joshua, don't come in here acting like you know what you're talking about, but then just completely making an ass out of yourself simultaneously. Don't do that. I will correct you. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. That's cool. If urine is not your main, then who? I just said urine was my main, dude. If I didn't charge it in time. I almost had it, bro. If I timed it a little bit more, I could have got that shit. Oh, I've been so happy that hit. Shit. Have I ever made it to Q? Nah, I mean, I tried him. He just ain't for me. Mind if I ask you what you discussed so far? Sorry, I just joined. I was just talking about like fighting games in general. Like to basically sum it up in short, like I have no problem with simple fighting games existing. I just have the problem when it's just oversimplifying it, oversimplifying like fighting games that never were like that to begin with. When it comes like the honest technical fighting games like Guilty Gear, what made and that's what made Guilty Gear got off its ground in the first place. Because like in the 90s, in like the early 2000s, and so on and so forth, like every game that was like Guilty Gear was called a Guilty Gear like game. When they're known to be nutty and technical in the first place and being dumbed down for an audience, which long term they're gonna drop the game anyway, it's stupid. I will always stand by that. And plus that's what creates a gatekeeping mentality, honestly. Because the people that are not used to being good or getting validated in those games now all of a sudden get into space too, those are the ones that gatekeep. I have no problem with games like Rival Schools, for example, right? Being like a simple fighting game. There's nothing wrong with having your junk food every now and again. But if I want to play if I want to play some games that are technical, I shouldn't be at fault for that. I shouldn't be labeled as a villain for wanting that. But it's like people love to go to the gatekeeping argument, and I say to that, it's not gatekeeping. Anybody can play these games, whether they're old school, technical, or not. Anybody can pick them up and play them. That's not the problem. It's just that everybody wants to be like a Daigo. It's like going to the gym pretty much. Nobody wants to get in shape. Everybody just want to be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I'm about to get grabbed. Damn. Damn, I cannot get my charge. There we go. Got the chip. I mean, not really. I mean, when it comes like to actually just being technical and having to time your inputs, they're not like what they used to be. The defensive mechanics are at the all-time low. Even Stride's defensive mechanics took a nerf. Like hell, even putting somebody in the corner, you get rewarded for getting your ass kicked. The wall break system, like you literally getting rewarded for getting your ass kicked, and it returns back to neutral center stage once you break the wall, which is stupid. You should have to genuinely work to get out of the corner. Not getting your ass whooped so damn hard that you literally the game feels bad for you and then push you right back into neutral positions. That's stupid. I mean, defensive mechanics have been taking a nosedive ever since Street Fighter V. Now it's just offense, 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 offense. Even the movements are taking nerfs. Like when you compare like the Street Fighter 4, it's like movement to Street Fighter 6, it's night and day. Even with some characters that were already fast, like Juri, she's slow as hell in comparison to a Street Fighter 4 counterpart. And no invincible backdashes. Meaning like you just didn't have to take their shit in Street Fighter 4. I mean, sure, you had Oki, you had Vortex, you had FADC, but that was very player dependent. That wasn't just how the game was like in general. Yeah, and plus, you want to know something that's funny? Fog Blades, bro. I literally Street Fighter 4 was literally my first Street Fighter I ever took seriously. I ever played seriously, and I got all the way up to B plus with Ken. And you want to know how many one frame link combos I knew how to do at that time? Zero. I literally knew no one frame link combos. I didn't even know that was a thing till like 2 or 3 years later after the fact. And that just made me want to practice more. It didn't discourage me. And y'all want to know what? And y'all want to know about like the next the person that can be like the next Daigo, the next Sako, or whoever. The people that want to be that kind of person would never be discouraged. No matter how difficult the game was, they would never be discouraged. They wouldn't want to take shortcuts. They would just keep practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Regardless, who gives a damn? The game's hard. Deal with it. Life's hard. But we deal with it. Exercising is hard. But you want to get that six pack. You want to get that chick, right? You want to get that extra 2 inches. You want to get that belly fat going. I mean, if we use that logic in our everyday to day lives, nothing would get done. Going like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to learn that. Nothing would get done. Fucked it up. Oh man, I just went right into it. Oh my god, I'm really just falling into it. Yeah, I'm playing like a bitch, but I don't care. They were not uber difficult, man. They just took time and effort. That's the difference. They never were uber difficult. I will go so far as to say this: fighting games have always been accessible. They always have been accessible. Anybody can pick them up and play, just like how anybody can pick up a weight and start lifting. But when you actually want to get results, it takes work and it takes training, and it takes effort, and it takes discipline, which a lot of people don't have a disciplined mind nowadays. Why do you think so many young men my age, mind you, I'm 27, my age and younger are lost and directionless? The testosterone keeps going down and down and down every year. And I'm telling you, like a lot of these companies like Capcom, they pay attention to this shit. I know this kind of sounds like I got my tinfoil hat on, but it's true. They pay attention to how our community functions every time. And they will cater towards that. The reason why you didn't see fighting games get dumbed down like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or however long, mind you, because we didn't care. We actually had a personality that was beyond just getting good at fighting games, beyond just showing our dick and not showing our balls. It was just that we had fun regardless if we sucked at the game or not. Now everything is like, now everything just is just so, have such a desperate need for validation and dopamine. It's ridiculous. And a lot of it died because the way we socially interact died. Our social skills took a great collapse over the years. A lot of people don't really know how to communicate. Everybody wants to puff out their chest and shit, going like, "Oh, I'm the baddest dude in the land." Like, dude, you're not even the baddest dude in the block. I mean, that's how I see it. Shit. I always mess up on them last ones. Let's go Remy. And I'm just telling you, man, the FGC just ran over by people that lost their fear of getting punched in the face. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. Like, if the old FGC was what if the old FGC was personified into a person and new FGC personified into the other person, the old FGC would have whooped the new FGC's ass right about now. Because a lot of people just lost the fear of getting punched in the face. It did too far. Yeah. No, let me read your comment. Um, when I was watching a documentary on old FGC and it focused on the idea of community, to me, it was like it was like just MMR cook rating on watered down on games. True. Damn it. I'm from booking niggas, not niggas with Dokins. Bruh. Shit. Wow. That seems like a fair take. Wait. That seems like a fair take. I'm also am not a fan of Western FGC culture. It seems like here the here the West is more about flexing than about actually helping others. Yeah, and even when they help others, there's someone that actually after the fact that they shit on you, and then they give you that fake positivity, going like, "Oh, we just want you to improve the game, bro. Like, play the set, play the set." Like, bro, that's the reason why I got so tired of Street Fighter Six so much, bro. It was the inputs were half the reason. Like, bro, like you play like that Battle Hub, man, that North America one. But it's just motherfuckers that are just desperate for validation, bro. As soon as they see my master rank tag, people gonna go like, "Oh my god, play the set, play the set. I'm a Brazilian player with 500 ping on Wi-Fi. Play me, or are you pussy?" Oh wow, I'm really getting taunted by the computer. Wow, twice. Wow, three. I can't lose this. Wow, I lost this. I'm getting flexed on by the fucking robot. But even when I try to go to a different fucking cab, they sometimes they be following me. Like I'm trying to go to a cab. Go to a different cab. These dudes still be following. Going like, play me. You're scared. Yeah, you damn right. I'm scared. I'm scared to get my computer problem. Your bad Wi-Fi having ass. Who wouldn't be scared? This robot. No, not this time, nigga. Yeah, I can sort of agree with that, Brian. See, I can sort of agree. Yeah, they become expensive for like little to no content. Like even with Street Fighter 6, like even with um like a world tour mode, it's still not worth $60 in my opinion. Especially how much they're charging in DLC. And what I mean by that is DLC really is just the costumes and like the avatar costumes. I mean that's really it. I just don't know why they just didn't cost the same as like the second costumes. They should just been cost like 50 a pop. Yeah, they're getting expensive for the same thing. To be honest with you, they're getting more expensive for like the same shit. That's all it is. No, I really wish Street Fighter 3 Online Edition was on Steam. I really wish that was the case, bro. I don't even need Fightcade. I ain't gonna lie, I'm low key lazy to set up Fightcade to be honest with you. But imagine like if it had like online edition, I'd be so happy. That online edition was hitting back on like Xbox 360. You can actually practice the parries and shit like that. Like I really wish I had that port instead of the 30th anniversary. That to me was just way more superior. Nope. Bro, I'm not touching Street Fighter 5 ever again. That game is never going to get re-downloaded. I hated Street Fighter 5 from beginning to end. Oh yeah, let me wait forever for a match, right? Just for it to be laggy and just for me to play on training stage only because that's the only stable stage in the whole game, pretty much. The only way I can change it up if I uh if I download mods and shit like that. And plus half the stages look like crap. They don't even look finished. Like Akuma stage, like the first stage, like when he initially launched, looked like crap. I had to get mods to make it look better. Am I excited for Tekken 8? No. Honestly, it's like whatever. I mean, the only way I'll play that game is somebody bought it for me, but I have no interest in playing it. I just kind of lost my spark for fighting games like that, to be honest with you. I mean, I play them every now and again, probably like more classical games, but The current shit, nah, nothing really piqued my interest, to be honest with you. Because I just got tired of the community. Gil, man. I mean, I love Gil, but like playing against him, it's not easy. Okay, give me that broken shit. Yo, I'm so nervous. Yo, why we couldn't get his voice back in like Street Fighter 5, man? That's no, scratch that. Why couldn't we get Gil in Street Fighter 6? I completely forgot about that move. Yo, his normals, man. His normals. Yeah, bro, like Street Fighter 6 EX, like Street Fighter, no, not Street Fighter 6 EX. The Street Fighter EX games are criminally underrated. Criminal. It is, it is blasphemy on how underrated those games were. That shit, bro, the music, like the only thing that held it back, it was just released too soon. If it was released like in, if it was released in its place of Street Fighter 5, let's say Street Fighter 5 never happened. If Street Fighter EX3 was released in the at the time that Street Fighter 5 was supposed to be released, that part would have been one of the best games of all time. Easily. Easily. That game is slept on, man. The World Tour mode, it was like, it was alright. It was alright. I'm glad they tried something different, but eh, it was alright for me. Honestly, like the only real like RPG I like enjoyed, like when it had to do with like Street Fighter games. I mean, well, not Street Fighter, I mean fighting games, was like Virtual Quest. Now that's a game I actually like. That's how I got into virtual, like a virtual fighter in the first place. It wasn't even through Virtual Fighter itself, it was through Virtual Quest. And that game is still good for how old it is. I think that game came out like what, 2004? Damn. He's gonna have resurrection even if I do beat him. Hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. He was gonna resurrect anyway. I was screwed. There's no way I was gonna get that back. But man, it's amazing to me how like Street Fighter 3 is still having tournaments to this day. This game, mind you, released in the year 1999. This game is about as old as I am, and it's still having support to this day. I think with the past fighting games, they were playing chess instead of checkers. Like, honestly, there was still people playing Street Fighter 4, mind you. Like, I would be playing Street Fighter 4 2 right now, to be honest. But the thing is, the net code sucks so bad on PC. It sucks. Damn. Uh oh. SNK crossovers. Honestly, they should have released Capcom versus SNK 2 who right about now. I don't know what they're waiting on. I mean, bro, look at Capcom versus SNK 2, man. It had literally everything. A dream roster. And it had parry. It literally had everything to accommodate you. That game still has more content than a lot of today's fighting games. If you really think about it. I don't even care. But if you still think about it, that game still has more content. Like, even just like it's just insane, man. It still has special intros, which Capcom still isn't doing. I don't know why they don't do that anymore, but like the special intros when you first like certain characters and shit. I'm telling you, that was Capcom's last magnum opus. If you honestly ask me, mind you, I don't really hate Street Fighter 6 that much. There's some things I do would like to have changed, or at least have a preference to changing. Like if I have the option to manually do the parry once I hold it and I can actually press forward, then yeah, I'll actually prefer that better. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of content, but it has a shit ton of problems. It don't matter like how much content it has. Would people really have the same energy if that was like all the problems that Street Fighter 6 has in other games that is not as well known? Would they really have that same energy? The answer is no, and you know it. That's the problem. It's honestly that's debatable. That's debatable. Having the best single player content, I mean that's debatable. Mortal Kombat 9 is still up there. Deception and shit, they still have a lot. I mean, they're not the first ones to do it. I mean, the reason why a lot of people say that because, like, honestly, Street Fighter 5 is just that trash in comparison. Honestly, even Street Fighter 4 still beats it in some ways. Sure, Street Fighter 6 may have more content, but they also cut some corners too. Even with the arcade mode, like they still don't have no CGI cutscenes. When Street Fighter 4 did it, and they had less money, like in comparison to what they have now. Hell, even some endings that were animated, they were changed over time, like in later editions. Some of them were. I forgot he had resurrection. Forgot he had that, man. Damn, I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, it's just meant to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think people would have that same energy if like the same type of content was in any other game. Because there was similar content like in Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat Armageddon and shit like that, Virtual Quest, but a lot of people just shrugged it off. You know, Virtual Quest is still it's not technically a fighting game, but it's like a spinoff from a fighting game. It had similar content. Yeah, now I think making every fighting game now like esports is that's not going to work in the long run because they're going to cut even more corners because they're going to get comfortable with the money that they're making now instead of not planning ahead and playing chess instead of checkers. That was, you know, who else made that mistake? George Lucas films. They made the exact same mistake and they're paying the price for it every day. It won't even matter because he still had resurrection. Man, oh man, I didn't want to quit. Fuck. Now I'm thinking of. Normals are just so damn fast. Oh, how? What? I mean, yeah, I mean that's cool and all, but like shit, the Neko's dog shit right now. Oh, I'm dead. I mean, yeah, but how many people are gonna do that though? And even then, they'll get shit on for even doing that. Even when they try to mind their own business, they're still gonna go like, "Oh my god, you entitled little shit! You don't want to play our games? They used to be your games. They used to be the games that you. They used to be our games. You know, like how like this our game, your game shit started when they started dumbing down when they started dumbing down fighting games, right? Just in general, that's when that shit started. It used to be all of our games, whether they were easy or not. They were still all of our games. Now they're just going one way. No, now it's their games now, and I can't wait to see it bite them in the ass in the long run. I'm telling you, the only reason why fighting games are getting dumbed down, not because they're too hard, not because people don't want to take the time to learn them, it's because the need for validation has rapidly increased. That's what happened. Hit them in time. Fuck. Dang. And if you try your yeah, but I don't want to just turn my brain off, man. I actually want to use strategy. If I wanted to turn my brain off and have fun, I'll just do heroin. Or just play Soul. Yeah, my thought could just walk up to him. Blaze Blue Tag probably won't ruin the Blast Blue series from being made for idiots for 5-year-old. It's 5 years later. Oops. Yep. And nobody's playing that game. Nobody's playing it. It's the same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. When that shit got dumbed down. When like tags are no longer unsafe, they're just coming with a random move that's +5. You just had to sit there and take it. Sanford Kelly was talking about that shit a few years back, and that game died as well. And you know what's really the most embarrassing part about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's death? It died from Dragon Ball Z Fighters trailers. Imagine it was the year 2002, right? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was still in its hype days and shit like that. And imagine if I told you that Marvel vs. Capcom, the series, would die just from a Dragon Ball Z fighting game's trailers. Not the actual game, the trailers alone kills the game. People would look at me as if I needed to go into a mental asylum. But look what happened. Damn. And that's why I always say, man, like everything just getting dumbed down was not gonna work. There needs to be a balance between the two. And it also needs to be more respect for games that just not the big four or like big ass titles. Damn, it don't even matter because it takes 2 hits, not one. The recovery is insane. Oh man, I think I'm done. Oh man. No, fuck it. I guess I'll try. Q, why not? I mean, not Q, Remy. Why not? Fuck it. Do I miss? No, I forgot who that dude was until it reminded me of Street Fighter Five, man. Yeah, I don't miss what killed my fighting games. I don't miss what killed Street Fighter for me. Yep, don't miss it. Jesus Christ. Oh, for real? Well, I don't know what the hell he was thinking with five, man. He did a great thing with four, but I don't know what he did with five. They oversimplified the shit out of that game, man. But still, even that game looks like chess in comparison to Street Fighter 6. Because all you really need to get master is just maintain a 40% win rate and you'll get it. Damn it. Motherfuckers laughing at me. Damn. You do realize I can play the game offline, right? Electro Burst. You know I'm playing this game offline, right? I can play the game offline. And plus, again, I did say I will play them sparingly. This is what happens when you don't watch the video thoroughly. I mean, this is what happens when you don't watch it thoroughly and you try to be a smartass. Uh-oh. Am I playing Street Fighter 6 online right now? No. And even if I was, I'm only going to play them sparingly. But that, as a main thing from my channel, like I said in the video, if you paid attention, turn them listening ears on, I said I would play them sparingly, but they would not be a mainstay on my channel from that point moving forward. Uh-oh. I didn't even mean to pick Akuma, but why not? Fuck it. But I'm telling you, some people just have a selective hearing problem, man. I'm just telling you. Some people just have a selective hearing problem. I don't even play Akuma. I'm gonna suck ass. Oh yeah, I can't instant air it. I'm gonna cheese it. I'm gonna cheese it. Fuck it. What? Oh shit, he got resurrection, so it don't even matter. Yeah. Did I ever go to majors? I never participated in a single tournament. Never. I never. I never I never made videos to become pro, bro. I mean, I'm good at the game. Yeah, I beat a few pro players in ranked, but like shit, I've never like played in no majors. I'm just a dude that likes fighting games at the end of the day, or at least liked it. Damn it, not like a Kuma in third strike. Oh yeah, I forgot he had an air one too. They are fun for the community aspect. You don't have a place. You don't have the place. Uh, which is why I never wanted the place. But no, the community is just torn to shreds. Did Street Fighter 6 kill my love for fighting games? No, not really. That wasn't the thing that killed it. It was just the oversaturation of like oversimplified fighting games. Like Street Fighter 6, it does have like a little bit more technicality to it in comparison to 5. Like it's night and day. Like obviously, but still, like once you figure the game out, it still doesn't have that it factor for me personally. I mean, there's just so many ways, different ways you can play Street Fighter 4 that like I can still probably if I saw the same kind of players that I respected like in from 2013, if they still had the same name and they popped up right now and if I was playing Street Fighter 4, I would probably still remember them. That's how iconic those players were to me because of the way they played. Even with low tier, mid tiers, it didn't matter. The way they played stuck out to me because like, oh my god, they can beat me with just normals. Oh my god, they can beat me in the swaggiest way, which I never would expect. I still remember to this day that some dude beat me by actually predicting my backdash from a FADC with Oni with an instant air raging demon. I can still remember it vividly. But now, like these games are gonna get dumber and dumber and dumber. And I'm not saying like in the aspects of going like, oh, it's gonna be easy win. I'm not gonna be sitting here like, oh my god, these games are so easy to win, and I'm gonna get Evo 5 times in a row, no problem, no sweat, no diff, GG's. No, come on now. There's still gonna be good players, mind you. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult fighting against good players, no duh. But the overall system, like it makes me not want to care because there's not really that much to explore. And plus, you really just have to respect an idiot shit nowadays. There's just more and more things you just have to respect. Not because they actually putting you in authentic 50-50 situations. They're just because they're next to you. And it all started with 5. They're next to you and you're scared shitless. It's the same thing with Strive. They're next to you, you're scared. Yeah, I was just looking around. CTFU. You better explain that shit. Jenkins, you better explain. You better explain yourself why you said that. If that's disrespect, I don't let that shit fly on my channel. Don't disrespect me. You don't disrespect nobody else in here. You can say your point without being a dick. So you're saying nowadays fighting games have easy inputs. It's not just easy inputs. Like easy inputs is just one thing. And it's just that I mean, you can say the same thing about like Under Night In-Birth having like easy inputs and shit like that. Yeah, it has easy inputs, but it has timing. You have to be precise with your inputs. But like a lot of this shit, especially with Street Fighter 6, it borderline doesn't matter. You can really just mash the button like in Drive Rush and you'll still get the shit. I mean, the only time it will probably ever matter is if you're playing Juri, and that's just one example. But then again, like the timing is so wide, it's like it really don't matter. Or like even with like Melty Blood, like the game's buttons are like, yeah, it's kind of simple, but like when you actually do like the difficult combos, it still takes timing and practice. AG the greatest. Yeah, you're right. They focus way too heavy on being pro players. That's why a lot of this shit getting dumbed down because people want more of a chance to be the next Daigo. Because back in the day, they got discouraged from actually trying because they know they're gonna get their ass whooped because they put in minimal effort. Because they think just practicing combos all day is gonna make them a good player. That's not gonna be the case. You can know every combo in the game. You can know every one frame link combo in the game, but if it doesn't help you if you don't know the other aspects when it comes to the game. But mind you, before you learn any of that, you gotta learn how to enjoy the game first. You gotta have a connection with the characters that you want to play with. I mean, when I go back to like Street Fighter the Alpha series, it wasn't my preferred cup of tea, but it made me want to keep playing because there was one character I liked more than anything. Hold on. There was one character I loved more than anything in this game, especially in Capcom, which was Nash. Nash was just such a cool character for me. His theme, his move set, and plus like the lore and shit, like it made me it just made me want to keep practicing. Even though this game was never for me, like I still want to keep doing shit. Oh yeah, you can't dash in this. Oh yeah, you really can't dash. Do you think Tekken 8 store? What do you think of Tekken 8 story trailer? Have you seen it? Yeah, I think now here's what I honestly think about like um in terms of like not like gameplay, but like graphics wise, it Tekken 8 blows Street Fighter 6 out of the water. I don't care what anybody says. Like that game, if we're just talking about strictly appearances, that game is by far the best looking fighting game so far. Like it makes Tekken 7 like a late PS2 game in comparison. It makes Tekken 7 look like a bootleg. Half the time when I was playing Tekken 7, bro, after I saw Tekken 8, like, am I really playing a licensed product, a licensed Tekken product? I do Sonic Blade again. There we go. Oh yeah, I gotta continue it. It's manual. I mean, yeah, for mid '90s, yeah, especially. I mean, for like a mid '90s game, yeah, yeah, no question. Jesus Christ, shit. Oh my god, that damage. I mean, yeah, I mean, well, technically yes and no. I mean, they just went back and played the older Street Fighters until they fixed the game. I mean, that's the difference between now and back then. Nowadays, you're just told to accept it. Back then, when you actually had real options to play other Street Fighters that were better than like Street Fighter 3 New Generation, and plus like and plus I don't think if the internet was like how it is now back then, I don't think either of those games would have almost killed the series, in my opinion, because a lot more information would be more readily available, like on who's viable and who isn't. But still, like even with that being said, the Street Fighter 3 New Generation, that roster was broken. I'm not even gonna pretend like it's not. That whole game was broken. Do I like the Marvel games? Yeah, of course. I love like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I never played it seriously. I mean, I only played it at like at my local laundromats back in the day, and played it at my friend's house back on like PS2 and shit like that. And plus, I didn't even get a shit about being good. I just want to do Spider-Man's web swing at least a few times. Like the more fun we had with like with each other and shit like that, like just with people in general, the game's difficulty never mattered. But since you take a lot of social interaction out of the equation nowadays, because a lot more people are separated from others. Like there's no real social interaction anymore nowadays in comparison to what's back then. Damn. Damn. Yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 2 was not my strong suit at all. Oh shit. I forgot how batshit Rolento was. Super dive. Hmm. Okay, show you Ripper. Sure you can. My bad. Shit. Oh yeah, I forgot you can parry in this game. Hmm. Play Heritage for a future for the future? Nah, never played it. Damn. Dude, I still can't believe, like, for how old this game is, it's still holding up. Damn, a little broken, isn't it? Oh, JoJo's Heritage for the Future. Yeah, I haven't played it. Now I know what that game is, but yeah, I've never played it. Oh my god. Yo, man, God was a little bit busted. Oh my god. Jesus. It wasn't Pet Shop like literally banned. Is he literally banned from like every tournament? Is that how overpowered he is? And Pet Shop was like the eagle, right? From like part three. Oh my, oh my god. Yeah, I think that's my last game. All right, it's been a blast, but I gotta get off. I got other things to do. But man, I can't believe I actually had like over 20 people in this bitch. But yeah, like I'll probably like stream next time. Probably might just play something else. But yeah, I had to get like the little old itch away. Just going through childhood memories and shit. Yeah, this is Alpha 2. I think Alpha 3 was like in terms of like gameplay, I think Alpha 3 did it best. All right, I'll see y'all guys next time, man.